Hello and welcome once again to the Hang Podcast. I hope everyone's doing well out there once again. I hope you're not dead. Um, and I'm not dead either. Cool. I'm just gonna get straight to it because this is a long as fuck. So what you are about to listen to, once again, I'm sorry I didn't put my pop filter on so you can hear it. Um, so yeah, this is a long podcast because I recorded this following episode with Carlos Osorio. By the way, if you've been listening to any other podcast, you'll notice that I talk about Minds Together, which is a mental health clinic, and this is the man behind Minds Together, the founder and head honcho at Minds Together. Even though I haven't really said much about it because it's kind of closed at the moment. I'm pretty sure you can still go online. Remember mindstogetherpc.com and maybe just do over the phone consultation, a video chat kind of thing. You know, everybody's doing this remote stuff nowadays. I guess I'm going to have to do it myself because I like to have some new guests on. This was recorded before we were forced to stay home, and I'll try to put up the video. Maybe I'll split it up into two parts, cause yeah, it's a long episode. So hang tight if you're going on a road trip. Perfect. If you're staying home, perfect. If you're just procrastinating and not doing your job, perfect. So yeah, once again, guys, remember if you want to make this more exciting, send in some questions maybe about what you want to listen or talk about, what topics you want to talk about. Let me start over. What topics you want to talk about? Send in your questions, your comments. I'll talk about them or the guest will. What's this guy doing now? Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen. But for now, I hope you enjoy Jean Carlos. By the way, is it like I don't know why I've never asked you, but is it Jean or John Carlos?
Jean Carlos.
Oh, okay, Jean Carlos. Yeah, because
Some people say John, Juan, Jean.
Yeah, because I've heard like I've met a lot of people with your name, so it's always different.
It's always different.
Yeah,
So Jean Carlos in Spanish is more like John Carlos.
Yeah, exactly.
John Carlos.
John Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends where you're from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's Jean Carlos, it's fine.
All right. So
Dr. Osorio would do.
yeah.
That's it. Actually, the Hispanic population is usually the ones that they call everybody doctors.
Yeah.
The medical facility, like medical providers, for them, everybody's a doctor. And the more you want to explain to them, no soy doctor, okay, doctor, está bien. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, maybe it's like, I don't know.
It's culture.
Yeah. Like, even in Mexico, like, they told me that, like, I would be considered licenciado, but I'm like, I'm not a lawyer.
Exactly. Licenciado. Yeah, that's another one, licenciado or doctor. Because they feel like whoever has a title or holds a title,
yeah, exactly.
They view them like this mighty old god, like untouchable, and they're smart. So whenever you talk to some like Hispanic clients about like, you should do this to avoid panicking. Okay, doctor. ¿Usted qué cree, doctor?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, ahorita everybody's a doctor.
Oh, man, don't even start with that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So by the way, everybody, welcome. Thanks for watching. This is the man behind Minds Together that I'm always talking about.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, if you want to let the world know who you are briefly.
Sure. Well, my name is Carlos. I'm the founder and clinical director of Minds Together, which is a mental health clinic providing mental health services. Ideally, it is for, since I'm Spanish, so most of our clientele are Hispanics, Spanish speaking. But also, I have at least now 6 psychotherapists, and, they serve a vast culture diversity population. And our aim is to, improve mental health and to reduce the stigma behind mental health.
Right.
A lot of people assume that if you're seeking supportive services, then you're crazy.
Right. That's exactly what I say when I mention I mention this place, that it's not always necessarily because you have issues or problems. Right. The way like I mentioned once was that I think of it like your mental health is like your physical health.
Right.
Just because you're in the top shape physically doesn't mean you have to stop training your body. So it's the same thing with your mind, you know, I think.
But there's a big stigma and a big like disconnection, because let's say you're sick and you have a stomach ache and people are like, oh my God, you should go to the doctor and get, go check it out, right? Or, you're coughing, or you have a fever, or you have, let's say, something medically. People actually encourage you to go to the doctor and check it out. But if you're saying to someone, I feel like I want to do therapy, I need to talk to someone, automatic is like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, why are you going to a therapy? Like, is everything okay with you? Like, are you losing control? Are you losing your mind? And it's a big stereotype and stigma, especially in the Hispanic and Latin community, that. And I understand that, our parents or grandparents, they don't talk about problems, especially family issues, right? It's a secret. And if you're saying nowadays, have a therapist, the idea is like, wow, that's cool. That's awesome. How's it going? Instead of like, why are you going to therapy?
Right.
Like, what's wrong with you? Like, can you handle it on your own?
Yeah.
Or are you that weak emotionally that you need, to talk to your problems about someone? And I find that needs to stop, and especially in our community, and people who do go to therapy, I think it's the people that have a good insight and they know that something is not okay, versus the people that are out there assuming that they're okay, and probably a lot of people have been telling them, right? You have anger issues, you get anxious easily, you should talk to someone, and they're like, no, I got it, I'm okay. Mm-hmm. And I find that a lot. Once the person is in therapy, most of them usually say, wow, I should have done this a while. Or I didn't know I had all of those situations and problems going on,
Yeah, so
it's very tricky.
Yeah. So I guess you kind of got into it a little bit. Do you think that, like, us Hispanics and just people of color, I guess, in general, like, where do you think that assumption comes from, that I guess, like, we don't necessarily need it, or we don't talk about it? Like, is it because we're trying to just be tough about it, or
I think it's all of that. A lot of also is the term, very generational from our culture, Spanish, people of color, the stereotype. If you're a man, right, when you were a kid, most of the parents say, you're not supposed to cry, right? Kids don't cry. Suck it up, be a man. And you're like, okay, what does that mean?
Right.
Expressing and crying it's a girly thing. I'm not supposed to do that because I'm a guy. Or kind of like, you're the man of the house, you're the husband, you're the father, you're supposed to know how to handle this situation.
Yeah.
And if you're right, it's okay for the girls, it's okay for mom, it's okay for my sister, or especially, again, this is all like stereotypical, that if you're female or if you're weak, then you could go to therapy. It's okay. But if you're a guy, then you can't. You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Men, in our community, it's more like you can't share your feelings, and you can't say, oh my God, I don't know how to handle this. I need some help. And we do that.
For sure.
I know that when I'm lost driving, I refuse to ask for directions. Even though I'm driving like 30 minutes and I'm lost and I know I need to ask someone. Right. But again, it's inbred in our brain that no, I'm a man and I'm not supposed to ask for help. Right? And then you're with your girlfriend or with your wife, she's like, could we just call it and let me just... No, I got it. I know where it is. Yeah, and you could be lost for 30 minutes until you're like, okay. Like, you have to talk to your ego and be like, okay, let me go ask someone. You know? Yeah. Like, it's wrong to ask for help. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
It seems a lot. And then when you know, that person is allowed to come in, the idea is to change all that perception behind what is therapy. You know, that it's not that you're crazy, it's not that you're losing your mind, but it's more like you realize, I need to talk to someone to see what's going on, to help me figure it out. You know, any situation, right? A long-term relationship, or parents separating, or kids acting out in school. And I also, the parents, you know, if the kids act out in school or they're behaving bad, then they're reacting to something that's going on in the house.
Right.
You know, that's usually the typical.
You know? Yeah, because I mean, when I was younger, I used to go to therapy, but I didn't really know why. And then I didn't see a result, I guess you could say. Like, maybe the result is happening now.
Right.
But at the time, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong or why I'm here. Right. But like you mentioned, it's not always just because the kid or, you know, whatever he's or she's doing, like to the people around them. It's like, well, what environment are they in, right?
Right.
You know, it's like, what's making them act like this?
Right.
And
they're reacting to something.
Right.
You know, and then when you build that trust with the kids, I actually ended up knowing more in 2 months working with a child than the parents all the years, right? Because I tell the kids, do you tell this to mom and dad? Does your mom know this is happening to you? And they're like, no. And I'm like, why not? Well, the first thing is, I don't feel comfortable telling my mom that I'm being bullied or that I'm being teased in school. If I tell my dad, then he's going to say, like, why are you allowing someone to beat you? You know, you're supposed to fight back. You're supposed to do this. Right. And some kids feel like they really tell me, like, I don't trust mom and dad because I'm afraid how they're going to react.
Yeah, for sure. It's just kind of crazy. That's the first person you should have trust in.
But that's the idea, right? Because when mom and dad tells their kids, listen, I just want to let you know that I'm here for you. You could trust me. I'll support you. I would accept you for, you know, who you are, what you want to be. Just tell me I'm your mom, I'm your dad. You want to make sure that the kid actually believes that. And some kids, when they talk to me, they're like, dude, it's BS. Yeah. Because if I know that I tell my mom that I'm curious to try, for example, vaping, she's going to freak out and she's going to tell my dad and then I'm going to get punished. Yeah. So I was like, okay. And I'm like, what do you do? Well, I tell my friends and I do it an experiment.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Do your parents know? Yeah. No, they don't know this. Right? And then here you have the parents having this false idealization about who their kids are. Mm-hmm. Right? Because at home, the kids could display, it could be this perfect kid. But at school, there's someone else. Right? And it happens to when kids do really good in school, very good grades. And then when they go to, you know, talk to the teacher, here's the teacher, oh my God, your kid is lovely. He's, you know, he helps others. He listens. He's so attentive. And then the mom is like, how come I don't see that in my house? Are you sure you're talking about the same kid? And then I asked the mom, well, it has to be a reason, right? I mean, your kid is your kid. Here in a playground in Chuck E. Cheese, at school, at your aunt's house, like anywhere else, it's the same kid. Now, he's behaving differently in an environment. It has to be a reason. And then obviously the mom and dad, they're like, well, I don't know why. We know, you know, he knows we love him. He knows, or she knows that we support whatever. I'm like, does he really? And I tell the parents, do you feel that your kids trust you? And they will tell you anything. And most parents are like, yeah, they do. It's like, okay. And I tell the kids the same question, and they're like, no, I don't trust them. You know, if I tell my mom I'm feeling this way, mom, don't tell my dad. I know she's going to tell my dad. And then my dad comes and says, well, your mom told me this. Why didn't you tell me? I can't believe you trust more your mom than me. And the kid is like, oh, my God. So I'm not going to tell them anything again.
Yeah, basically. And I guess that's how they become, like, the quiet type.
Right. And then that's how, when they grow up, they have issues trusting. They have issues with intimacy. they have issues believing when someone says, "Oh my God, I love you so much," and you're like, I don't know about that.
Right.
Either that or you want something from me. Because that's usually how they're raised. You know, moms and dads tell me all the time. You know, another big misconception about therapy that is a punishment. You know, when moms bring their kids for the first time, I tell the mom, "Did you tell your son that you were bringing him to therapy?" And then I'm like, "No, they don't know. I just told them that they had a doctor's visit."
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, "Okay, why didn't you tell them?" "Well, no, I don't know. Like, I don't think he will come." And then when I talked to the kid alone, I said to them, "You know, why do you think your mom brought you here? Do you even know where you are?
Right.
Do you even know what this is?" And they're like, "Well, you're a doctor." I was like, "Okay, well, I'm not a doctor." Yeah. And then I said, "But why do you think you're here?" And then they're like, "Well, I think I did something wrong. I think I'm being punished."
Oh, okay.
So they start viewing therapy as you're bad and this is a punishment. You know, it's like if a kid is in karate, he behaves bad. What is the first things parents do? You're not going to karate because you failed class.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You're not doing your homework. You got into a fight. Well, you're not going to therapy. You're not going to swimming. You're not going to karate. You're not going to music. It defeats the purpose because therapy, it's a building character. Therapy is to build self-esteem and is not as a punishment. And I tell that to the parents. You know, the kid got into a fight or the kid got suspended or the kid is doing bad academically. That's when you want him more in therapy.
Yeah, so you think people have these misconceptions because it's like a generational thing, or maybe it's like a social economic class that has a certain like taboo about it, or like what do you think just gives it that stigma, I guess?
I think it's very generational. I think, for example, here in the United States, it's okay, it's acceptable.
All right.
It's more, I'm going to say, you know, it's less stigmatized to say, "Oh, wow, you know, I have my therapy appointment in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And now you're starting to hear peers say, "Oh my God, that's cool. You know, I also see a therapist." Right. "Oh my God, that's so great." End of story. But in our countries, in third world countries, South America and Central America, you don't talk about those things. You don't say to someone, "Listen, I can't go to the movies with you, or I cannot go out because I have my appointment with my therapist at 5. Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Wait, you prefer to go to your therapist than hanging out with me for lunch?" Yeah, that's the whole point. Because I need to go to therapy for myself. We could meet afterwards, but it's a very, again, it's a misconception about therapy being bad, and you're doing something wrong, or you're not able to handle in something. That's why you're seeking therapy and you're going to a place.
All right.
Here, I don't know how much they could really see the office, but the colors, the furniture, I try to be so not therapeutic office. Like, it's not the typical therapy place that you go to. And a lot of the people, when they come, a lot of my patients, when they come into this clinic or into an office, they're like, "Oh my God, this is so calm. Oh my God, I didn't know that you collect comics. So I don't know you were into this. I don't know you have tattoos, right?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm still human." Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, and they even said, "You know, your office is better than my living room. It's better than my room. Like, there's no desk. There's no, we're just here talking, you know."
For sure.
And the idea is to have some sort of structure and have some sort of safe space outside the world and outside of your friends and family. Try to be as non-biased as possible and very objective, you know. I don't cure people. I don't have, like, as they always say, like this magic wand. But I do offer people some options and look at the bigger picture of things. And don't stuck on just one problem. You know what I mean? Because I always tell my patients, you know, it could always be worse. You know, you're going through this, but it could always be worse. And they're like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And then I give examples of how it could always be worse. And they're like, "Oh my God, you're absolutely right. You know, I was so fixated in what's going on right now that I forgot that I could, you know, be homeless. I could have a terminal illness." Like, and they just go on. And I'm like, you know, it could always be worse. You know, and the idea behind that is for them to stop and be able to look at the big picture and like kind of have like this outside perspective of things. It's like, yeah, I don't have it that bad. it is bad. I'm going through a bad moment, but it's also very situational. It's gonna pass. It's a situational moment.
Yeah.
Things would always pass. Things would always get worse. Things would always get better, but they would pass. It's situational.
Right.
I mean, that's how I see it, and I try to have my patients see that option.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they have it way better than most of the world, because especially here in this country, from what I see, at least recently, mental health is like a really pushed topic right now.
Right.
So I don't doubt that if you go to, like you said, third world countries, they don't even have the option to just see somebody whenever.
Right. I mean, some patients. No, like absolutely. Right? And some patients actually, sometimes they don't even know that mental health is covered through their insurance companies. Right. And they're like, oh my God, how much do I have to pay? And I'm like, no, your insurance covers it, right? Most people actually don't even know that visits are allowed at least 2 or 3 times a week, right?
Yeah.
They don't know that, right? And unfortunately, we live in this right now in society here in the States that you have the privilege where there's no referrals. You don't need authorization for the most part.
Yeah. And
there's no limit, right? It's not like when you go to physical therapy and the insurance is approved and says, okay, by 3 weeks, you should be able to have full range of your injury, right? And then in 3 weeks, we stop. Here, mental health, it's ongoing. Like some patients come in 3 months, 6 months. Some patients stay 2 years, 5 years, 6 years in therapy, right? Well, they don't come once a week now, but it's a monitoring thing, but they've been in therapy, and insurance covers it. As long as I feel, or we, like who are in therapy or psychotherapists, we feel that it's necessary, we just continue seeing the patient until it comes to that agreement and says, okay, I think we are okay now. I think you could go. Here's my card. If you have any issues, call me back and we'll start. But a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that their husband or the wives or the kids are covered through mental health. Because again, when they're signing up into the insurance program, even the insurance providers don't say to them, they would say, dentist is covered twice, like they'll let you know, right? The doctor's visits are covered, the emergency visits are covered, but they don't say to you, oh, and by the way, mental health is also covered. If you want to go inpatient for a drug and alcohol problem, this is also covers it, right? And if you want to see a therapist, our plan covers you 3 times a week, and you could bring your kid, your wife, your family. It doesn't say that, right? And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, wow, that's a great thing that I haven't really thought about. That's definitely offered in this country, because I know I lived in New Mexico for a little bit, and I mean, I was a little kid, so probably didn't need it or think about this stuff, but I highly doubt people were insured, or if they were, that mental health was an option. Because like I said, I don't even know any like therapist over there that I could think off the top of my head, which kind of leads me to wonder. I mean, you've been doing this for a while now. I assume,
I mean, I graduated from Stony Brook. Wow, I'm gonna say my age. I graduated in 2007 from Stony Brook with Master in Social Work, and then even when I was in my graduate program, I was always doing this casework. Working for ACS, working for all of this, I guess, agencies.
Right.
But I've been in the system. I've been doing this type of work. I'm gonna say a good more than 12 years now.
Okay, so that is because I was just thinking about how the healthcare system changes constantly in this country. Not like hugely immense changes, but I mean, it definitely, I hope it's changing for the better. Do you see like any issues or problems that come up when these changes happen, or maybe the opposite, like any better things that end up happening?
Right. I mean, and the beauty with what I do is, I always strive for getting more knowledge and more education. And
that's always great.
And once I get the master's, like, you do a lot of certifications. So throughout the years, I specialize in trauma, abuse, cognitive behavior therapy, like all of these specific therapy approaches to help the patient. Because every patient here that I see, even any patient that anyone sees, is a very unique case, right? And you cannot provide the same therapeutic approach to, for example, you, and then for someone who is an 80-year-old kid.
Right, exactly.
And then the other person who has a drug and alcohol problem, or another patient that was sexually molested by mom or dad at the age of 6 or 7, right? Or having a 75-year-old male or female. Like every patient that comes into our office, to my office, I have to treat them and I have to guide the service based on the patient. And this really becomes more about the patient.
Right.
It's not about how do I feel, do I feel, or do I think they're making a mistake? You know, and that usually happens a lot. A lot of patients that do come here feel that we tell them what to do, or that, oh, well, he's a therapist, he should know how to fix me. Right. And then I tell them, listen, I'm not going to tell you what you're about to do is right or wrong. I cannot tell you to stop doing it. But I could tell you is what would happen if you do this? What would happen if you do, A, B, or C, and D? Let's discuss it. And then it's your option. It's your choice.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Some people's like, all right, I understand what you're telling me. I'm still going to do it. I'm like, fine, they'll do it. We'll come next week. So what happened? Oh, my God, it was horrible. Okay, now we know. What do you learn from this? Oh, and then that's that's growth.
Right.
That's what you want, growth. For the person to have their own insight and to say, I've been doing this for the past years and it hasn't worked. And then my approach is like, so I think it's time to change the approach. And that's the key because, we know as humans that change is really hard. We adapt, we think we adapt, but changing and changing things, changing our behaviors is extremely difficult. You've been doing something for 20, 30 years. I cannot expect that patient who's been doing this for so many years to all of a sudden in 3 months improve the behavior and okay, you're okay. It takes many years. It takes trust. Right. It takes trial and error. It takes relapse. It takes, oh my God, I did it again. Let me start back. Let me start doing it until the person knows that I cannot do this because it's not good for me. And that's something that each person has to, I guess, develop on their own time. Some people do it faster, some people don't. And that's the idea.
Yeah, what I've noticed, it's a weird comparison that I'm thinking about it, but I feel like mental therapists are kind of like the modern shamans or witch doctors, kind of. Because, to me, you're not, like you said, you're not giving the direct answer or instructions on what to do, on how to live life. You're just kind of being, I guess, kind of, you could say, a devil's advocate when it comes to giving or like seeing the situation that people are in and how they could go about dealing with their own situations.
Yes. Right. And I'm going to say like a good 80 or 90% of patients that come here or that I treated, when I ask them, okay, so why are you here in therapy? Like, what do you want to come out of this? Like, what do you want me to help you with? What do you want me to assist you with? And they always come for the wrong reasons. And I say this is because they'll come in thinking that it's because of, I broke up with my wife, or I broke up with my partner, or they laid me off, or I have anger issues. That's the symptom that they're presenting, or that's the symptom that made them come here, But during the process of therapy, and I'm going to say a good 3 to 6 months, we realize that the patient is really not here because of anger, but it's more underlying issues, more things that happened to this person in the past, but never dealt with it, right? And then the person, during this process, has this insight where, like that, oh my God moment, they're like, oh my God, this is why I always do this. And this is why I always feel this way, because probably this that happened to me, I was never able to come into terms with it. And I've just been dragging it, And that's the idea, because one of my philosophies in therapy, and I mention it to a lot of my patients, is I strongly believe that we as an adult are a result of whatever things happen in our childhood.
Right.
And if there was abuse in our childhood, if there was violence, it was sexual abuse, emotional abuse during our childhood that was very traumatic. At that time, we didn't have the skills. We didn't have the development skills. We didn't have, the rationale to understand. And I guess I'm assuming that our brain at one point said, you know what, you're too little to handle this. I'm gonna block it. I'm gonna repress it. I'm not gonna make you deal with this because you're not prepared, right? But what happens? We grow up, we mature, we become adults, and I'm pretty sure at one point the mind says, okay, I think you're adult now. I think you're smart, and I think it's about time to deal what I helped you with, right? And I think that's sort of the acting out behaviors. I think you start doing some patterns. You start doing things that you always question, like, why am I doing this?
Right.
Why do I always fall for the same type of guy or the same type of girl? Why do I always feel like when someone loves me, I run away? Or what is it that I fall in love too quick? Why is it that I always tell people yes, yes, yes? Why is it that it's hard for me to tell people no, even though I want to tell them no? Right? And that all comes from childhood, because when we dig in this process together, we find out that it has to do a lot with abuse, neglect, rejection. Right? Probably mom and dad at one point in your childhood said, you're not good. You're going to be stupid. Right? Or how many times have I heard 37-year-old man or even 42-year-old man cry because they remember when they got an 80 on their exam. And for that little kid, an 80 was a big deal. Mom or dad, I got an 80. Look. Mom says, you didn't get 100. Why didn't you get 100? Right? Or the kid got 100, and then dad or mom says, but you didn't do the extra credit. Right?
Yeah.
So then the kid is like, the kid at one point says, then fuck it. I'm not going to get 100. I'm not going to do the 80.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get 30 because I'm still going to get rejected. Right? Then the kid learns that no matter what I do as a kid, I'm not going to be good enough for mom and dad.
Yeah.
Right? Because I could be good. I did something bad, and then here comes mom and dad. You got suspended. You got an F. You did this. You did that. You're punished. But when the kid does good in school...
Right. It's like... It's all... I guess... I mean, I don't know the term, but it's just all like... I guess negative reinforcement.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right. And some kids actually do feel invisible when they're good kids. Because when they're good kids, they don't get this attention. They don't get this reinforcer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And there's no attention given to them when they're good kids.
Right.
Because mom and dad's like, oh, he's doing good. Let me leave him alone. So the kid's like, oh my God, I got to do something to let mom and dad know that I exist. So what do the kids do? They start acting out and behaving bad. Because when a kid behaves bad, then comes mom and dad and start screaming and doing. And for the kid is, well, at least they're noticing that I'm here.
That's the only time he gets attention.
Right. Whether it's like publicity, right? Bad or good, it's still publicity.
Right.
You know what I mean? The same thing, the kid sees it. But the kid grows. And then the kid grows to say, I need to do bad things to let people know that I'm here. Right? Or no matter how good I am, I'm still not going to be good enough for anyone. And then those are the people and those are the adults that they get to the point where they realize that I don't know who I am, right? And to have a patient say to me at 34, at 46, like, I don't know who I become because I was so invested and so preoccupied in pleasing everybody that I don't know what I like. I don't know if I do like sushi, but I always said I guess because that's what my girl liked.
Oh, right.
But I really hated it.
Right, but you just want to spend time with them because you're like, that's the only connection I'm like getting, so I gotta enjoy it while I can. Right.
Even though it doesn't make me happy.
Right.
Or even though, like, I know by me doing you a favor, I'm the one who's gonna suffer. But you know what? It doesn't matter because you're gonna be happy.
Right. Yeah.
And then when this patient tells the other friend, "Do me a favor," they expect the same thing, and those were the expectations.
Oh, right.
Because people really don't give a fuck, especially here in New York.
True, yeah.
But then you're like, "Oh my God, I helped you. I did this. I did that," and they're like, "Yeah, but I don't want to do it." You know, and that's why a lot of people, and I tell this to my patients, you have to be very emotionally strong and you have to be emotionally selfish to tell someone, look, I love you a lot, but this is not acceptable, right?
Right.
I love you a lot and you're my best friend or you're my mom, you're my dad, you're my brother, but I'm not going to allow you to do this because it's affecting me. And that takes a lot. Right? Because again, if you're a people pleaser and you always thought that the more you say yes to people is a way to accept you, then the harder it is for you to let's say, to validate your own feelings. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when someone does something that gets you upset, the idea is, dude, what you're doing is getting me upset. Stop. And you're my friend, or you're my partner, or you're my girlfriend, you're my wife, you're my mom, but I'm not going to allow you to do this. And that takes a lot. It's kind of like rejecting someone without saying no.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you reject someone without telling them no? And that's what we learn here. How do you tell someone that you love, that you care for, that what they're doing is hurting you? And you have to be comfortable with telling them that. And you also have to be comfortable that they're going to feel bad.
Right.
Oh, I don't like, I hear a lot, I prefer to say yes to people than tell them no because they're I'm going to disappoint them. Right. And I tell my patients, like, what is the biggest fear if you tell no to someone? Oh, that I'm a bad person, that I'm not good enough. And they start saying all of these things, right? That they won't count on me, that they cannot trust me, or I'm afraid they will never talk to me again, or I'm afraid that the next time he needs help, he's not gonna come for me. During the process in therapy, I ask him that same question until some patients get the insight. I'm like, you've been asking me this question about why am I afraid to say no? And I'm like, yeah. And I always tell you the same thing, but you always ask me this.
Yeah.
And then I go, okay. And then they go, why do you always ask me this? And then I'm like, okay, now I know that the patient is ready. And I tell them, you're afraid of saying someone, I cannot help you, because you're afraid that you're going to disappoint them and that they're not, they're not going to be there for you anymore. He goes, yes. Where have you heard this before? That you're not good enough? That no matter what you do, you're still not good enough. And you should always please people so people could love you. And they'll start off from my friends, from my girlfriend, from this. And I'm like, okay, just go down, younger. And most of the time, I'm going to say like a 95% of the times, they heard it from their parents.
Right.
They heard that from their parents. Most of them. And that's when they realize, oh my God, I'm repeating what my parents did to me. Oh my God, I'm turning like my parents. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that marked me. I remember. And then they start realizing. Right? And then that's when they start crying. That's why they start getting angry. And then the idea of this is, let's deal with those feelings. Let's face them. And how does that make you feel now? Right? And let's pretend mom and dad are here. And what would you tell mom and dad? Oh, they fucked me up. Mom, I still remember when you destroyed my bicycle because I failed the class. Like, those start regressing into that point. Yeah. And then that's when the real healing time begins. When the patient is able to realize, I'm doing things acting out of impulse. I'm doing things as a result of something. And the idea in this is to go back there and heal that.
Right.
Coming to terms, whether you want to forgive them or not, that's really your choice. My thing is, you need to move on. Right? You're already 42, you're already 35, you're already 22, and you're still being affected by something that happened when you were 6 or 7. Right. So you're still a victim. Even though you're not in that situation anymore, but emotionally, you're still a victim of what happened. And that's giving power to the abuser, or that's giving power to that trauma that still is haunting you. And in a way, it's kind of like this big let's say chain that you're walking, but it's just so heavy to move on. And then you always question, why doesn't things turn out right? Why is it that I'm always having such a bad luck? What is it that I can't find the right person to be with? Or what is it that I always ended up with the wrong type of person to be with? And there's always an underlying motive, and there's always an underlying issue. The ideal is for the person to say, I know who I am, I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and I know what I can accept or not accept. Right? And then as people come in, I could deal with this, I don't want to deal with this, I'm going to run away from this. And a lot of people know that this person or this situation is bad for me. I shouldn't have been doing this, but they're still there.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of couples, either men or females, that they know the relationship is bad. And I asked them, if you know this, why are you still in it? In a relationship, or why are you still in the situation? And most of them say, well, I know they could change. I want to change them. I believe they could change. And they stay into that. I'm like, but in this process, you're the one who's getting hurt. Right? You're the one suffering. You're the one doing this. And then most of them are like, yeah, no, but that's okay. Like, I feel bad. Yeah, that's fine. I want them to be okay. And I'm like, no, it should be the other way around. You have to be okay.
Right.
Right? Why are you suffering in silence when this other person is doing whatever they want to do?
Yeah, I think people are just generally, I mean, I'm assuming one of the main reasons they come in here, and you probably end up seeing this before they do, but they're just not aware of what the root of the problem is. Right. So I guess that's why you're really trying to bring out in them.
Right. And
help them see that.
Of course, it would be easy for me to tell them, listen, the real reason why you're in therapy is because you still have past trauma. It's because you're still angry at mom and dad for doing A, B, C, and D. Or you're still upset because your brother or your sister did this. Right. Mm-hmm. And you can't get over that. Now, an adult, you're making sure that everybody else suffers around your life. And I could tell them that, but it defeats the purpose of the person finding it out on their own. Okay. And even if I do tell them that, which I'll never do to anyone, they won't believe me.
All right.
Right? Because it's very hard to accept things when you're not doing right, or to accept things that are really messing you up. And it's better if the person says to me, you think I'm doing this because of what happened to me when I was a kid? And I'm like, well, that's a possibility.
Right.
Well, what do you think? And I gave him an example. Kid was sexually abused by an older brother, right? Mm-hmm. How do you think this kid, who never told anybody, or who told mom and dad said, we're not going to report to the police because it's your brother. 2, don't tell anyone because it's your brother. 3, pretend this doesn't happen. So how do you think this kid feels? He's going to grow up. What do you think he's going to believe regarding family, trust? What do you think of what type of relationship he's going to grow up as an adult?
Right.
Right? And then to see his brother grow up, have kids, and everybody talks wonder about his brother, and he knows what happened. How do you think this adult is going to feel? What do you think he's going to act out and start doing? And as doing this for so many years, I have heard so many stories, especially sexual abuse by parents, by moms, by older sisters, by older brothers. And I'm like, does anyone know this? I'm like, no, I never told this to anyone. And I'm like, how have you been able to live through all of this? Right? Because I get amazed of how people have overcome. And when I mean overcome, is like they're still alive with all the things that happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of people commit suicide, a lot of people do harm themselves, are on drugs, and are not doing what they're doing because there's an underlying pain, a lot of underlying anger.
Right.
And they come in, and then they walk out, and then I think like, wow, we never know who is next to us walking around with right. all of these things in their head, and it's unbelievable, but there's a lot of people out there.
Yeah, for sure. Even for me, from my standpoint, I see and hear a lot of the exact same situations. Even successful people. I'm really big into stand-up comedy. So there's actually one comedian that part of his stand-up routine, he was talking about how he has anger issues and he tries to deal with them. And then from him going to therapy, he figured out that it was from his childhood that his parents were very strong on him. And then even the people around him, it was like you said, there's a stereotype that is you have to be a tough guy, especially him being this Irish guy from Boston. Mm-hmm. It's the kind of stereotypical definition of being a tough guy. And then he even gave examples oh, you couldn't stop and say, oh, look at those cute kittens, because then everybody else would be oh, look at that guy, he's a fag liking kittens. Right. Yeah. And then he's well, as a guy, I just have to suppress it. And that's probably how people end up getting tumors or something. You're suppressing all those feelings. because you can't show them because you're a guy.
Because you're a guy. Yeah. Or you're right, and especially in the Latino community, or the machismo.
Right.
Right. What if you're still a man, but you don't believe in machismo? So that makes you less of a man.
Right. Exactly.
I remember one of my first cases that I had was, it was this Hispanic family, mom, dad, 2 kids, a daughter and the boy and the son. But they were living with mom's older brother. So, and mom and dad would go to work, and mom's older brother, which was the uncle, he would babysit them. Long story short, the uncle was abusing both kids sexually, right? Both kids told mom and dad. Mom and dad went to the precinct and they pressed charges. But guess who they reported it? Because the uncle sexually abused both of them, the son and the daughter. Parents got freaked out. They went to the cops. They went there, but guess who they reported the abuse? They reported the daughter's abuse.
Oh, okay.
Right? So they're telling me this in session, right, for the first time. And they said, I can't deal with the idea that how could he do this? My little girl, my princess, she was raped. Oh my God. And I was like, wait, but your son was also. Yeah, I know. He also, but he's a guy. I could never do that to him. It's like, do what? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. Well, when I did the report, I had to tell my son, if they ask him, to tell him that no, because he's a boy. They're going to think he's gay. They're going to think he did it on purpose, that he liked it. Not my son. But my little girl, oh my God. Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Crazy, yeah.
They leave. I talked to the little girls, to both of them. I talked, to the both siblings, together and independently. When I talked to the little girl, she says, this happened to me. And I said, how do you feel about mom and dad going to the cops? Oh my God, they love me. They support me. They're giving me so much hope. They told me that it wasn't my fault. Nice. I talked to the boy. The boy's like crying. He goes, it happened to me too, but I cannot talk about it. And my dad told me not to tell anyone. And I'm like, how does that make you feel? He doesn't love me. He's ashamed. All the opposite.
Right.
I don't understand why my sister gets all the attention. It also happened to me. And then he goes, and in fact, it was happening to me the most because I'm oldest. And I would tell my uncle, don't touch my sister. Do it to me, or I'll do whatever you want, but leave her alone. And I'm like, does your parent know this? And they're like, no, I never told them. I was like, wow. Right? So then you have this little girl loving the parents because she feels very supported. But then you have the brother hating them, hating the sister. Because at one point in session, he would tell me, I was so fucking stupid. I should have let my uncle do the same thing to her. But because I'm the oldest and because my parents told me that I'm supposed to protect my sister, I stood up and I allowed him to do this. So he wouldn't do anything to her. But I cannot talk about this because I'm a guy and I'm not supposed to do this.
Yeah, hopefully right? That's not the case. Like, I guess that's what we're trying to change now. Like the fact that just these like expectations that we don't even know where it came from to begin with, right?
Stereotypes.
Yeah.
Our culture, so the same thing when and I see it nowadays, but nowadays it's a little bit more, it's okay. It's when, I hear it all the time, like growing up with little kids being bullied. If you're a boy, then you're supposed to handle it a certain way, but if you're a girl, you're supposed to handle it another way.
Right.
It's okay for a little girl to come to therapy, but it's not okay for boys to come to therapy because, again, you're a boy, so you're not supposed to come. Or parents will come and say, listen, my son is acting out. I don't know what's wrong with him. Fix him. Mm-hmm. And when I talk to the boy, it's usually, and like I said at the beginning, he's reacting to what's going on at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he's doing exactly the same thing as any other kid. Like if he sees mom and dad fighting and beating each other, he's going to go to school and he's going to fight.
Yeah, that's what I hear too. And I kind of saw it when I got, the first time I got bullied, and it kind of funny that you mentioned that. After I told my mom about it, I didn't want to after that point because she made a big deal about it, and then at the end of the day, like she confronted like my bully's parent, and that parent was just like the kid. You're basically a bully yourself.
Or what happens nowadays when there's bullying in school? Who's the kid that goes to therapy? The bullier or the kid being bullied?
Well, I guess the kid being bullied, right?
Right.
But it should
like if the kid being bullied did something wrong and he should go to therapy because he's being bullied. And I always tell to the parents, like, what happened to the kid that's being bullied? What happened to him? Well, nothing. I'm like, that's exactly who needs to go to therapy more to see what's going on. Right. And most of the times when you see the kid that is bullied, you know that the parents are also doing the same thing.
Right.
You know, but when the kid is being bullied, it's the little kid who goes to therapy, not the other one. Right. I don't understand that. You know, and it's still happening. I mean, 2020, the kid is being bullied. When I get referrals from schools, right? He's being bullied. And at that point, I told the counselor, what happens to the bullier? Is he also going to therapy? No, parents, we don't feel like, the kid being bullied really needs therapy because, he doesn't want to come to school. I'm like, yeah, because he's being bullied in school by another kid, right? Mm-hmm. This kid who's being bullied comes to therapy, okay, but the kid who's being bullied, the bullier, he's going to do that to another kid.
Right.
and it's all education. Like when those referrals happen, I tell the school counselor, I'm like, you need to have the other kid in therapy because he's going to do this to another kid. Oh, we're going to suspend them. Like, that's not the solution.
Yeah, it's not.
He's going to go to another school and he's going to do it again.
Right.
Oh, okay. So what do you think I should do? I'm like, you're the school counselor. Like, you're supposed to call the parents and tell them he needs to go to therapy. Because his behavior is going to affect wherever he goes. Simple as that. Then the kid who comes to bully, that's being bullied, comes to therapy. The parents don't tell him, so he goes, "Dude, I got bullied, and I'm here. Like, what did I do wrong?"
Right. So you're getting punished for getting punished. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's how they feel about it.
Right. And I tell the parents, do they know? Does your son or daughter know that they're coming here to therapy? No, and don't tell them. I'm like, so what do you mean? I can't lie. Like, I would just tell him that you're a doctor and that he needs to, to come to checkups. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I find it weird that in general, like, I mean, I know like Christmas, for example, is kind of a different story, but I feel like parenting, I'm not saying it should be like that, but it's a lot of kind of white lies involved in parenting. Yeah, that's what I said. Like even down to like Christmas, you're lying to a kid for a bunch of years, but like. And
then when the kid finds out, he gets upset.
Right.
And then mom's like, "Why are you upset at me? Because you lied all of these years."
Right.
I have had parents, bring their kids because, for example, now with all this immigration, the father got deported.
Oh, okay.
Right. And I tell to the mom, like, "What have you told your son, who's 11, who's 9. Oh, I told him that dad is on vacation. I told him that dad is working." I was like, "And how long are you going to keep this lie?" "As long as you need to, because I cannot tell him." I was like, okay. Or when dad or mom goes to prison, right? The kid is 6, the kid is 7. Mm-hmm. What have you told? "Oh no, dad, the most that I get is that mom and dad are in a school. They went to a school and they're doing a certificate."
Oh, okay.
I was like, for 5 years?
Yeah. Okay.
And then I go, "But you take the kid to visit him." And he goes, "Yeah." "And what it's that he's in the military or he's in the army." He's like, "Okay." And then I go, he's going to grow up and he's going to ask.
Right.
And we find out that you lied to him. What are you going to tell? "Oh, that I was protecting him." It's like, okay. So when the kid comes and says, "Listen, I haven't seen my dad. And every time I go, like, you gotta do all of these things, and there's so many cops." And she's like, "Is my dad in prison?" I'm like, "Do you want to ask your mom and tell her?" "No." I'm like, "Why not? She's gonna get mad. I don't trust my mom."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so who do you ask? "Well, I tell my friends, and they think that he's in prison." "How does that make you feel?" And then you have this kid crying, right?
Right.
And then it's like, But according to the mom, everything is okay. You know, and then the kid goes, I know my mom is lying, and I don't know why she's not telling me the truth. Why don't you ask her? I don't trust her. She's going to react. She's going to scream at me, so I just better not. You know, and the same thing, again, with immigration. I've had a 12-year little girl that, you know, she started cutting and she wanted to overdose because she heard an argument between mom and dad because mom got a deportation letter and she overheard them. Apparently, mom threw out the letter to the garbage, but because the daughter heard him, she went and she picked it up and she read the letter. Right?
Okay.
Then a couple of days later, she tells mom and dad if things are okay. Mom, how's your immigration case? She already knows what happens. Mom and dad's like, oh, everything is great. You know, we're just waiting for the lawyers to let us know. She already knows. So the little girl who's my patient is like, why are they lying? I read the note and she got a deportation. She has to go. I'm freaking. I'm like, you got to tell them. It's like, no, I'm not going to. I'm angry. And then I'm like, so how are you doing? Oh, and she started cutting. Mm-hmm. Did your parents know? No, I'm not going to tell them. You know, but you're hurting yourself. And then that's when, you know, I got to tell the parents and all of this. And then the parents go, oh my God, I thought that she didn't know. I thought that she was asleep, which is...
All right.
And then I said, okay, now everybody knows what you're going to do about it. No, we're going to protect her. We're doing what we got to do, but we're going to stay out of it. And then the little girl who's 12, she's like, Mom, I'm here. Like, I know what's happening. Like, what do you mean take me? Like, I know. Like, let me help you. Let's go to therapy together. Like, and then the parents are still refusing. Like, it's their problem. Right? And then the girl is like coming in and she's like, I don't know what to do. Right? I hear the news that the deporting. And if we go back to our country, you know, and it's all of this process. But kids know, you know, kids hear when parents are fighting. Kids hear when parents are having sex. Kids hear and they know, right? And then they start acting out. And then that's when the parents bring the kids to therapy. There's something wrong. You know, he or she wasn't behaving this way. And all of a sudden, they're starting to do this. And I tell the parents, have anything changed in the couple of weeks, in the couple of months? No, nothing. Everything is the same. But when I talk to the kid, they're like, yeah, you know, this happened 4 months ago. And I was like, okay. Right? It's like, okay. And I tell the parents, wait, your kid wasn't doing this. No, he wasn't. Now he's starting to do this. And I'm like, do you think that probably something happened? No, I don't know why. Maybe he's just changing. His friends, that's always what they say.
Okay.
Right? His friends are making him do this or making her do this. And, you know, too much stuff in school or too much information in the media. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how, like you mentioned, kids would rather go to their friends who are in the same boat as they are as far as knowledge goes than the parents. And it's like maybe the parents aren't just like, maybe they don't feel like they're ready mentally themselves to deal with that kind of stuff.
And that's okay. So then go to therapy.
Right.
You know, how to talk to my kids about this, right? I have teenagers and I ask them, you know, during sessions, right? And I go, so how's school, how's things? He goes, do you started vaping? Do you started smoking weed? Do you started having sex? And they're like, I was like, what? You're 16.
Do you not think that?
Like,
I know about that?
You're 16, right? He goes, yeah. I'm like, what? Your kids don't have sex? They don't sneak out? They don't go cut? They don't go to the malls? They don't smoke weed? Like, yeah. I'm like, do you? I'm like, no. It's like, okay. And then I tell the kids, both girls and the boys, I'm like, does your parents talk about this? It's like, no.
Right.
It's like, and I go to them, so mom and dad never talked to you about vaping, cigarettes, smoking, weed? And they're like, no. It's like, okay. And then I tell the kids, you know what drugs out there? He goes, yeah. I was like, name me some drugs. Right. Oh my God. I was like, wait, is that even a drug? I was like, yeah. I was like, whoa. Right?
Yeah.
And then I tell them, how do you know this? Dude, it's everywhere. It's on the phone. It's on the internet.
Yeah, that's true. Especially now, you could definitely gain all that information.
And I test them, you know, and I test them like, no, you're lying. That is not a drug. Like, it is. I'm like, okay, Google it. And I'm like, say that's a drug. Like,
wow, right.
They know.
Yeah.
So I tell them, did you use them? And they say to me, yes, I do. I did it once. I don't do it again. Are you drinking? I tried it. I never did it again. Like, you know, then you start seeing. And then when I talk to the parents are like, no, my kid doesn't do drugs. My kid doesn't do this. Like, Do you ask them? It's like, no, I trust them. It's like, okay. And the same thing with girls. Sexuality, right? Are you starting to have sex? Do you use condoms, protections? They're like, no. I'm like, do you know this? Yeah, I know all this. Boom, 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 boom. Like, how do you not do it? It's everywhere.
Right.
But do your parents have sat you like, no? So how do you know this? Internet, online, my friends, Right. Right? And every school and every high school. Yeah, I know there's this kid that, she's 14 and she's already pregnant. I was like,
right.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of things that you kind of see in TV shows or movies or stories. Like, I used to just experience them like as it happened. Mm-hmm. Now, like, you can read about them everywhere.
Right.
And see them on Instagram or whatever, Facebook, Google, Wikipedia. It's all out there.
All of us.
Yeah.
And the kids nowadays, Snapchat, Twitter, all of these things. And I'm like, what is that? The terms, the texting.
Right.
When they start texting in cues and in symbols. And I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, this is like, that means that. He goes, yeah.
Right.
Like, wow.
Yeah. I remember.
Dude, I'm like, oh my God, that made me so old. It's like, wow.
Yeah. It's alright. I'm probably the same too, because I had to like go on a website like to find a definition of every emoji. And it's like, one emoji means a whole sentence.
It means a whole sentence,
right?
And sometimes when they're kids, I do meet with the parents like at least twice a month just to go over.
Right.
And I tell them like, do you know what your kids are watching on the internet? Do you know what the kids are listening on your phone? Do you know where they're going to the websites? And the parents are like, no. Like, should I? Like, I don't know. I'm like,
right.
Right, like. A 9-year-old kid with an iPad, with a cell phone, and a desktop. In his room for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's got a lot of...
You don't go in your emails.
Out of his hands.
Right? And then when I tell the same kid, like, what are you doing in the internet so long? Oh, I'm doing this. I'm like, your parents know? I'm like, no. It's like, how do you even know to search those websites? Right. Dude, it's on my friends. They show me. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that's the issue. They prefer and they trust friends or peers at school, which is said they're also on the same boat because they don't trust their parents. Now you have all of this misinformation, all of these erroneous concepts about sex and drugs and behaving and not doing. But when they come to therapy, they're like, right? And that's usually the case. Adults and kids, when they come the first 2 months, they're very quiet, but then all of a sudden they just, okay, this is safe, this is cool. I don't get judged, I don't get criticized. I'm saying this, I'm getting no reaction from him, so it's cool. Let me just say everything. And then I tell a lot of patients, how long have you been feeling this way? Oh, always. Oh, for the past this, for the past that. Have you told this one? Like, no, I'm not going to tell anybody, leave it like that. And I get that. It takes a lot of courage to talk about uncomfortable things, and people freak out when they don't know what to do, when the unknown, right? And then a lot of people, they avoid, they repress things that are uncomfortable. Other people are like, okay, this is uncomfortable, I need to deal with it. But that's also uncomfortable, to deal with uncomfortable things, if that makes sense in a way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, from what I'm hearing, you're gonna have to deal with them sooner or later.
Yeah, but most people prefer to deal with them later.
Yeah.
Right? Or pretend it doesn't affect them. But they're still doing those behaviors.
Right.
That is the underlying issue, And a lot of my patients here, the adults ones, I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing, and that's the rationale. And I get that. But the underlying issue, what's making you do that? I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's like, okay, let's dig. This. And it's like, oh, because of this. Okay, why are you doing that? Maybe that. Okay, why are you doing that? And then they dig, and then they realize, oh my God, it's because of this. And they're like, so you've been telling me that I've been doing this all of this time because of this? I'm like, it could be. How do you feel about that? I'm like, well, it makes sense, or it doesn't make sense. Okay, right? Because it's not perfect either. There's assumptions. There's this universal trend where, it's not just one trauma. It's not just one thing. It could be many things. And a lot of people have that misconception that, I'm doing this because A only happen, but A, B, C, D, E, and F, G could also happen, and that is triggering it. And the idea is to just acknowledge it, accept it, and move on. Right? You're angry, it hurt you. Okay, don't hold it on for 3 weeks. This happened 3 weeks and you're still angry about it. There's an issue, right? What happened? Oh, this happened. I'm angry, but I'm over it. I'm like, oh, cool. That's the idea. But if you're holding on to something that happens through 3 weeks, it's holding on to something that happened 25 years ago, right? And this happens to the adults. I'm like, how long ago did this happen to you? Oh, well, I was 7 years old. And I'm like, how old are you now? 42. I'm like, so all of these years you've been holding that? He goes, yes. And I'm so pissed. And I'm like, okay. And I tell them, you want to continue holding them? Because you're going to be 60 at one point and you're still going to hold that. Or you want to start dealing with crying it and letting it go, which is the hard part.
Right.
And they're like, no, I'm cool with it. And I'm like, really? Like, it hasn't affected you? Here and there. I'm like, well, I think it's more than what you think. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, look at the patterns. Look at this. Look at that. Remember that time? Remember that time? They're like, yeah. I'm like, you think it's affected? He goes, yeah, I think so. Right? And that's very common, but it takes a lot of inner strength. It takes a lot of internalization to admit and say, yeah, I'm fucking up. Right? Because it's very easy to say, you're fucking up. It's your fault. This is why I'm like this, because of you. But it's very difficult to put yourself in the mirror and be like, no, it's because of me. It's like,
right.
I'm the one who's acting out. I'm the one who's doing this. I'm the one who needs to improve or change instead of you. And I always tell my patients, and I say to them, you're not responsible for the way other people are going to react, behave, and think. Oh, but if they get angry for what I say, then they need to do with that, right? If what I'm saying to you gets you upset, then there's something that you need to find out. Why are you giving me that power to get you upset? That's the way I see it, right?
Right.
Because I cannot behave just because you're making me behave that way. I have to give you that power. You could get me angry, and I could be really pissed. But I'll tell you, you know what, David? I'm really upset right now. And I think we should stop talking because I don't want to say anything. And then you're like, well, you don't look upset. Well, I'm very upset. I'm just not allowing my anger to control it. I'm controlling the feeling. I'm upset. Right? And I could be inside thinking to choke you, to kill you, but that stays here. Right? I'm not like destroying everything. Because that's the assumption, right? If you're angry, you got to do something wrong or bad to show me that you're pissed. And I'm like, I'm just angry. And that's what I do when my friends know that. When I'm quiet and just look and they're like, you're angry? I'm like, yeah. Why? Because you said this. Oh, man, don't say that. You're making me feel bad. Well, I'm sorry.
Hey, I guess you're dealing with it the best way possible at that point, right?
You know what I mean? And I tell, like, a lot of my friends and a lot of people, like, I really like you. You're my friend. But you got to stop doing this because it's making me uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that's fucked up. Dude, I feel so bad for that. I'm like, well, then you deal with that.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. You deal with your feeling. But I didn't know that. I'm like, well, now you know. Right? So I tell all my people, it's okay to say no to someone.
Yeah.
It's okay to say no. When I tell my patients, when my patient says to me, listen, I can't come in today. And I'm like, okay, do you want to reschedule or do what I see? What do you think? You think I should come? Right? And I'm like, it's not about me.
It's kind of up to you.
It's not about me. Do you feel you want to reschedule and come another time? We could schedule it. If not, I'll see you next week. Patients go, yeah, but I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want you to think that I'm dissing you. I'm like, and I reply to them, I'm entitled to my thoughts.
You're right.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, what do you prefer? And they're like, okay, I'll see you next week. Okay, fine.
All right.
And then they're back. Are you mad because I'm not seeing you this week? It's like, oh my God. Right? But that's how they do in their
right.
life.
Yeah, I was going to say, imagine like the other people that they deal with more than you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? The typical, you're on a date or you're hungry with someone. Yo, I'm hungry. What do you want to eat? I don't know anything. All right, let's go sushi. I don't like sushi.
Like that, right?
Okay, you want to do Mexican? Nah, man, I hate it. I'm like, okay, what do you want to eat? No, it's up to you. Like, I'm cool. It's like, wow.
So, yeah, not really, but okay.
But that's how we do, right? If you're with someone and it says, listen, I'm hungry. Oh my God, me too. What do you want to eat? You know what? I'm in the mood for Italian. Oh, you know what? Mm-hmm. I'm not really into it. What about this? And then you negotiate.
Right.
You know, we ate Mexican the other day. Let's try something different. That improves communication. And that's in couple, that's everywhere. Yo, you want to go see a movie? Sure. What movie? I don't know. You pick it. All right, let's go see Captain Marvel. Oh, man, I hate that fucking movie. So what do you want to go see? I don't know anyone. I was like, okay, what about, I don't know, some crappy movie? No, man, really? It's like, I'm asking you, what do you want?
Right.
No, it's up to you. It's like, why is it so hard for people to express their feelings, their needs, and their wants, and be okay with that?
Yeah, I guess it's just not raised like to do that, and like, or at least not in a conscious way, like on a consistent basis. People aren't thinking about these kinds of things.
No, because I think unconsciously people are just there to please other people, and that's a wrong concept. You know, like, it's Sunday, it's beautiful, I want to do this. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yo, it's nice outside. Do you want to do this? No, man, I want to stay home. All right, cool.
All right.
I'm gonna go.
All right.
Couples. Yo, you want to go to the movie? Because this really movie is out there. No, I want to stay home. But you could go. No, I don't want to go without you. I want to, I want to enjoy myself in the movies and thinking that you're bored at home. And then the partner's like, but I'm letting you, that you could go. Why? Do you want me to go so you could be alone? What are you going to do? It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. The mind, it's just pretty complex, but it could just be made simple,
Right? And I tell couples, I tell them, you guys do a lot of activities together. Yeah, we love to spend time together. We love each other. That's great, but what do you like to do on your own? And they're like, oh.
What? Our own?
Right.
You're right.
Do you like to go out alone? Like, do you need your partner, you need your other half to go with you? Yeah. I'm like, why can't you go alone? Oh, I feel uncomfortable. Like, why do you feel uncomfortable going on a date by yourself?
Right.
What? Going to dinner by myself? Like, yo, that's crazy. Everybody's going to look at me that, party of one or, loser, party of one over here. I was like, wow, see, I think the opposite. When I'm in a restaurant and I see someone alone, I'm like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I do that too. And like, I'm already at the point where like, I don't even look around to see if people are looking at me. I'm just like, I'm enjoying myself.
And it's New York City. I tell them, like, dude, it's New York City. Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm going to remember you 5 minutes from now. They're going to be like, hey, honey, this loser at the restaurant by himself. Like,
oh, maybe you should try that a little bit.
Right.
I enjoy activities alone. I love going to the movies. I love going on vacation by myself. Mm-hmm. I love going to eat by myself because it's my time.
Right.
And when I work, sometimes I have like really long days or really like hard cases in sessions. What do? I go to the local restaurant and I sit by myself. I order the special, nice glass of wine, and I just decompensate. And I'm like, all right, this is my time.
Right. Yeah, people need that for sure.
I need to stop. And I tell people, do you ever stop? Like, stop thinking, stop doing, like, just stop. Half an hour, just stop doing anything. Oh my God, I'll go crazy. I'm like, well, exactly.
Right.
You love the chaos, but you're complaining.
Yeah.
And that's very typical of anxious people. People who are always worried about everything. The minute that they feel like there's nothing to worry, they're worried about that too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's crazy because I'm definitely one to do that. Like, I give myself that downtime, that alone time. And then when I'm there, I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. There's something else I should be doing. Right. But then I remember again, it's like, no, this is the time where I'm supposed to not do anything.
Right. Some Sundays, I wake up and I'm in the mood just to stay home and do nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
All right.
You want to go? No, what? I just want to stay home. Really? I don't know. I'm in the mood to enjoy and stay home and do nothing. Order, call Chinese, call pizza. I just don't want to do nothing today. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But yes, the mind, you got to train it because it starts, I got to do paperwork, I got to do notes, I got to do this, exactly. I got to do that, I got to set up. And I'm like, It's okay. It will get done.
Right.
I just don't want to do it today. Right. It will get done tomorrow. Sometimes I feel like I need to do so many things. I do them, but then I'm like, wait. I need to stop. 10 minutes. I need to stop.
Yeah, for sure.
And allow yourself to say, it's okay to not do anything. It's okay to say to someone, I really want to help you, but I can't right now. Oh, come on, that's fucked up. I'm counting on you. Well, I'm sorry you're counting on me on this, but I don't feel comfortable doing this. Who cares? Don't worry about it. Do it for me. I'm like, no. That's the whole point.
Right.
If I do this for you, I'm going to feel bad about myself, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's bad. I'm like...
That's what I was going to say. It also takes, like, that other person to respect that decision,
Right.
Right.
But again, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, that's really good thing about.
Right. And that's the whole point that I tell my patient. And that's when you start realizing who's who and who's toxic and who do you need in your life. Kind of like who you need to start rejecting without saying no.
Right.
Because if I tell a friend that I think is a good friend of mine and I say to him, listen, I do want to help, but you know what? I don't feel comfortable doing that. I would expect my friend to be like, okay, thanks. Thanks for letting me know. I didn't know that would bother you. Don't worry about it. That's the idea. But if I'm telling someone, I don't feel comfortable doing this. And then the person tells me, yeah, but who cares? But I really need this. Could you do it for me? I'm like, dude, I just told you.
Right.
I feel uncomfortable. And if I do this, I know I'm going to feel bad about myself. Yeah, who cares? Don't worry about it. Just do it for me. Come on. I'm like, okay. Now I know. It's like, I need to start rejecting you, pushing away without actually saying no, because I know that you don't have my best interest. And I know that if something's wrong or something's going on in my life, I'm not going to go to you. As simple as that.
All right.
But that takes a lot of knowing who you are, putting boundaries and limits, and saying this is not allowed.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love you and I care for you, or this, but you gotta stop this because I don't accept it. And then for the other person to say, shit, this is more than just me. Like, okay, I gotta stop this because it affects this other person. Even though I might love doing it, but I have to reconsider. And I have to compromise and I have to give out in order to gain something, because it's not just your bubble and your world and it's all about me. It's what I want. Yeah, you could do that if you're 5 and 3, right? The little kid says, I want a lollipop, and he throws himself down on the floor. He has a tantrum, and what do parents do? Here's your lollipop. Right. Shut up. What do you think the kid learns?
Yeah, exactly.
You're a dad? No?
Yeah, no.
But when you see in the supermarket the kid having a tantrum that wants a candy, mom and dad says, here's the candy, here's the toy. Right. What do you think that the kid is getting to his head? What is the message the kid is getting?
Right, this is how it's gonna work from now on. Like, I know what I have to do. Yeah, I know what I have to do from now on.
I just gotta cry a lot. I gotta pee. I gotta poop. I gotta vomit. I gotta throw myself on the floor. I gotta hit my head, but I'm gonna get what I want.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And then this kid grows up doing exactly what? Anything that it takes to get what he wants.
Right.
So then that's when you have no limits, no boundaries, no respect. He does what he wants. He treats everybody because that's how he brought. When I tell the parents, why do you give up to that? Oh my God, he was driving me crazy. I needed for him to stop crying. He was embarrassing me in front of everybody. So I let him have it. I'm like, and what do you think your son learned? Oh, I don't know. Well, at least he stopped crying. I'm like, oh God. Just like,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I tell the parents, he just learned that all what it takes for him is just to hit himself on the head and he will get what he wants. No, that's not true. I'm like, that's what he did, right? He goes, yeah. And what did you do? You gave it to him. He stopped. So now he knows. No, he never does that. I'm like, okay. When I talk to the kids and I tell this little kid, 7 or 8, listen, what do you do when you don't get what you want? He goes, what do you mean? Well, let's say you're in a supermarket, in a store, you want a toy, what do you do? Oh, I already know. I'm like, well, I'll start crying, I'll pee, I'll start taking the shoes off, and my mom gives it to me. It's like, oh, and you think that's good? Well, I'm getting it. It's like, okay. And that's who it is. And it's all parenting and it's all saying no. Right. And kids will say to the parents, right? Because I also heard parents and they start crying, I hate you, you're the worst mom. And you're like, okay, you could hate me, I'm the worst mom, but you're still not getting it. No.
Right.
I'm going to tell the cops, I'm going to tell my teacher. Tell them no. Right?
All right. Yeah, and it's, I mean, I guess this helps, like, coming to places like this. That's where, at least, you know, it's just one more step that you take towards learning on just how to deal with not just that, but like everything else that.
And again, you know, we've learned that, you know, being selfish is a bad thing. Right? You can't be selfish. That's bad. And I tell my patients, I don't know about that, but I'm like, personally, I'm very emotional selfish in terms of this is not right for me. This doesn't feel good. Why am I going to do this just to make you feel okay? It's like, no. And if that's me being emotional selfish, then I'm okay with that. Because at least I'm okay. Right? I'm not saying later, fuck, I shouldn't have done this. What the fucking asshole I am. Oh my God, I lent him $200 because he needed it, but now I'm $200 short to pay my cable.
Right.
Like, why are you putting yourself through that? Say, listen, I really want to help you, but this money that I have, I need to pay this. Yeah, you could pay that later. I need them right now. I'm like, whoa. Right? And that's being emotional selfish. When you're with your partner, when you're with someone, and your partner wants someone, you say, I don't want to do this. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, but you know, you love me. I love you. Come on, do it for me. It's like, whoa. It's like, you got to say no. Right. And it's okay to say no. How dare you say no to me? You know, that's so fucked up because that's the guilt trip. You know, they want to turn it around so you feel bad and then you ended up doing. And then I'm like, listen. And that's like a little kid having a tantrum. And that's what adults do. We manipulate. We turn things around to make the other person feel bad. So at the end, they could say yes to us. But that's exactly what a 5-year-old does. They throw themselves on the floor. They tell mom, I hate you. You're the worst mom. The mom feels bad. Oh my God, my kid hates me. I'm the worst mom. Okay, here, have it. Okay, mom, I love you. And that's how we grow up, and we have this, I want to say this acting out underlying behaviors that we're doing. And then when someone says, this is not right what you're doing. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? You know, and I'm not saying that you're bad. Yeah. I'm saying your behavior is wrong. You still could be the great person you are, but your behaviors are wrong. The way you're doing things are not appropriate. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that what you're doing is wrong. And again, it's like saying to someone, this is not acceptable. Right? I still love you. I still care for you, but this is not acceptable. And then it's up to the other person to understand that and say, is he attacking? Is it a personal level, or am I really doing something wrong? Right. And to admit it, you know, and then to see those patterns of behavior that you've been doing throughout the years. And there's always this common underlying issue, right? When I have couples or adults saying, you know, I always have such a bad luck in finding someone. And I'm like, well, let's look at the people you've been finding. And there's always the same pattern. They're attracted to always a particular personality type, and that's because of a reason. And if we go back, it's an underlying issue. As a kid, most of the times. That's kind of my philosophy. So when I tell the parent, you know, when I tell an adult patient, yeah, it's really fucked up what happened to you. And, you know, and I could imagine how fucking hard that is to you, but you're not a kid anymore. You're 32, so it's really up to you. You know? Yeah. Bad, you can't change that. But it's still affecting you because you're doing this. But now you're an adult. And they're like, well, what does that mean? Well, now you have the power, have the control, have the rationale. You know what's yes, what's no, you know what's good and bad. You could modify and you have the decision. But it's really up to you. Or we could meet for the next 6 months and still talk about your childhood. It's really up to you. And I tell them, like, I'm still getting paid. I'm still here. So it's really up to you how you want to do this. You know, I have had patients say to me, you know, Mr. Osorio, for the last 2 months, I don't think we're getting anywhere. I'm like, oh, what is that? You know, every time I come here, we always talk about how depressed I am. And we always talk about, you know, how all fucked up things are happening. And I don't like that. You know, it makes me more depressed. Yeah, I could see that. It's like, okay, do you want to talk about something else? Well, not really. It's like, why not? I don't know. I'm just so depressed. You know, I don't do anything. Like, okay, how does that make you feel? Well, I'm very depressed, and then just go back and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's just circles, going in circles basically.
Right? But I'm not going to tell him we're talking about your depression again.
Yeah.
I can't say that. I need for him to say, oh my God, we're talking about me being depressed again. Yes.
Right.
Exactly. Is that okay with you, or you want to talk something else? You know what I mean? But I have had patients that also want to terminate because they've been in therapy and they think that I'm not helping them. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry you got that impression, but I'm not here to help you. Well, then what are you here for? I'm like, I don't know. What do you think you're here for? To get better, but how? Well, what does that mean? This is not like you have a headache, here's your Tylenol, and you're better in the next 40 minutes.
Right.
Or you broke your arm, go to physical therapy for 3 months, your arm will get better. Like, this is very different.
Right. Yeah. It's all, I feel like, internally within the patient, and like you could do whatever, even if you do give them the answers, let's say, I mean, they can go out the door and completely forget them, and then
go back and do it.
and go back to doing what they were doing.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I took some patients ask me, they go, listen, when is the real time that you know that you're in therapy? Right. And my average, you start doing therapeutic work with someone 1.5 years to 2 years. After you were with a patient for a continuum, meaning you meet most of the time once a week or twice a week, I think you will really start doing therapeutic work 1.5 years to 2 years. The first months is the honeymoon period. The patient brings the best because, again, the person wants to comply, wants to agree with the therapist, doesn't want the therapist to think they're horrible, they're a monster, they're bad. So they're always yes. And I could tell doing this so many years, I know when a patient comes in and they just want to hear what I need to tell them, or two, what they think I want to hear.
All right.
I could tell when a patient is lying. I've developed now throughout the years with all my experience, body language. There's little things there's little cues that I pick up, and I'm like, I know you're lying. I want to know why you're lying. If we're meeting for the past 2 years and you're still lying to the therapist, like, I know, but I'm not gonna say to you, listen, dude, we've been meeting 2 years, you're lying. Like, what's up with that? Right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It defeats the purpose. Yeah. I would allow you to continue, and then for you to say, you know what, Mr. Osorio, you remember last time you told me that? Well, I lied. I'm like, oh, okay, why? What happened? This and this and this. And then they're like, do you think I was lying? I'm like, well, if you're asking me, yes, I know you were lying. Well, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, that's not...
Yeah, that's not really your job, kind of.
It's not my job to tell you, right? Or when they say to me, you think I should quit my job? You think I should break up? You think I should do this? You think I should do that? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you, yes, do this or not. Well, why not? And it always comes. Because I don't want you to come the next week and say, I listened to you, you told me to do this, and it turned out the wrong way. I don't want that. I want you to be able to do what you want to do. We discuss it, and then we see if it worked or not. But you have to make the decision. You want to quit your job? Well, let's think, well, what happened? A, B, C, D. You have this in place. Oh, my God, I never thought of that. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't quit my job. Well, maybe that's a good thinking. I just told you what you wanted me to tell you, but not directly. You came to the conclusion. I just reinforced that. And again, that takes a lot of practice and how to talk to someone. You know, I've had some patients that would just come and say, you know, a lot of things, maybe pretending to shock me in a way, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you're not reacting. I'm like, no,
all right.
That's what you like to do, or that's what happened. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do after this?
All right.
Oh, I don't know. What do you think I should do? You think this is okay or not? I'm like, well, how do you feel by doing it? You think I should talk to my mom and tell her, or you think I should tell my dad how much I hate him? Like, if you do that, how does that help? What do you want to come out and tell mom and dad you screwed me up as a kid? What do you want? What's the outcome of that? Well, I want to make them suffer, and I want to cry and let them know all the pain they caused me. I was like, okay, why do you want to do that to your parents?
All right.
Right? Oh, because they fucked up. Well, what do you think? And I just go like that, you know, until they realize and say, I don't think it's worth it, right? I'm like, right?
Right, for sure. Yeah. Like, what difference is it really going to make? Right.
You know, you can't go back to the past and change it. You just have to acknowledge it, accept it. Yeah, it was fucked up. It was sucks, but I'm better now, or I want to get better. Like, okay. And I think you gotta thank your parents because whatever they did, they try to do their best with what they thought it was the best. And I tell them, put in your position, right? You pretend you were mom. Like, how do you think her life, her growing up, her situations, what she had to stop, what she had to give? Probably your mom was the oldest of, 14 kids, because Hispanic families, right? Back in the days. Right, and then your mom had to quit school because she was forced to do A, B, C, D, and E. And like, what would you do? It's like, yeah, that's tough. My mom went through a lot. I'm like, and then you start seeing it different.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you're like, well, she tried. I'm like, and I tell them it could always be worse. He goes, well, what do you mean? Well, your mom could have not have you. Your mom could have you and just give it away, right? Your mom could have been a drug addict. Could be this. Could be this. It could always be worse.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they're like, oh shit, I'm like, your mom did what she thought it was best based on whatever tools or not she had. Now it's a different story. Now you know better. If you have your kids, you're a better father. You would try to not to do or to replicate what you saw. That's the idea, because if you know that your kid is being bullied, you're not going to tell them, all right, you need to go to fight back. What's going on? You know that your kid is already 13, internet everywhere, all of these things happening, so it's pretty sure that you're gonna have the confidence to talk to your kid. Listen, I know you're 13, sex, drugs, I know you're in school, I know you're in high school, let's talk. That's the idea, because you know better, right? That's what you want. So when your kid becomes a father, then he will do better, and that's when the cycle breaks.
Right. Yeah, gotta learn from the experiences you've been through, for sure.
That's the idea. All right. And how do you do this? And a lot of people could do it on their own. A lot of people could say, you know what, I need therapy, I need support, I need someone to assist or give me another opportunity, And how long does it take? It's really different. A lot of patients says, how long do you think I should be here for what's going on in my life? I was like, and I tell them, well, I'm not a magician. I can't predict. So like,
there's no formula. Right?
I'm sorry, I cannot answer that. Well, what's the estimate? Like, well, it really depends. There's
for sure.
It depends on you. It's so many concepts. Again, this is not a 12-step program. This is not an inpatient where it's 3 months you're out. This is not 28 days you're out. This is not me telling them, listen, your insurance only approved for 4 weeks, so we need to hurry up because we only got 4 weeks for you to stop feeling this way.
All right.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah, and I'm not gonna tell the patient, well, I think if you continue coming with me, maybe in 3 years you'll be better.
Yeah. I guess that's one good thing that you're clarifying. That's like, you can't come in here with wanting like facts and answers right away.
Or this false expectations. Right. I have an anger issue. How long do you think it's gonna take me to control my anger? I'm like, well, the way you are, I think 6 months.
Yeah, because you're not a doctor. Once again, you're not giving a diagnosis or something like that.
Right? It's like 2 years, 3 years. Oh my God! All that time? Oh, I'm like, well, how long you been doing this?
Right.
38 years old.
Exactly. Right.
This is just, I can say that. I tell them, listen, it will take as long as it will take. I'll be here unless something happens. If you want to stop coming, because this is not like an AT&T contract, you're not going to get penalized if you close the contract, And I have had patients that tell me, I don't think this is working, I'm going to try it out. Sure, no problem. Or I found another type of approach. I want to do meditation, I want to do this, I want to start going to church, I want to start doing that. I'm like, you could go and do that. You could always also do this. It's really up to you. Right? I have patients that take medications, but they're also very religious. And I said, okay, you could do both. Oh, what do you mean? You could go to church, you could pray, but you also need to take your medication every day. Mm-hmm. You could do both.
Right,
it's okay.
Right.
Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, take your meds every day and read your Bible, pray, go to church. It has nothing to do with it. Right? Yeah. You don't have to go to those extremes. There's always this good balance in life. Right, exactly. I have sometimes worked, I have patients that tell me, I don't think this is working, I'm going to try it out. Sure, no problem. Or I find another type of approach. I want to do meditation, I want to do this, I want to start doing that. I'm like, you could go and do that. You could always also do this. It's really up to you. Right? I have sometimes and I'm seeing a patient and I know I'm not being effective. And I know like I don't think I could assist this patient as how this patient should. And I'll bring it up. Listen, we've been meeting up. How are you feeling? How do you think? Oh my God, this is wonderful. This is great. I'm doing so much stuff. And I'll tell them, I defer. I don't think I'm being able to help you as much as I know you need to because I feel A, B, C, and D. But it's up to you. Mm-hmm. If you feel the same way, we could continue. If not, I could transfer you. I could refer you to someone else that I know will be better able, to assist you in this particular because I don't feel like some patients are like, okay, that's great. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for telling me that. Some other patients will get very upset. You're rejecting me. You're not, you think I'm not good. You think I'm a lost case. Oh my God, I'm like so difficult. And then I say, okay, now this is not about me. You're projecting something right. that you have heard in the past. And then the approach changes. And I said, I'm saying that I'm not good, that I'm not able to help you. Why are you thinking that you're not good enough? Oh, because and then they bring it always happens when I'm comfortable, when I think I felt that I found the right person, it always happens. This is so typical. It's like, okay, so now I know it's not about me. And it's like, okay, mm-hmm. They're just projecting it, they're reacting to something that has happened in the past and that they're still having it. And then that's the underlying issue. Right. That's the unconscious part when I ask a patient something and they just, boom, say it out. And they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm like, well, you said it. Like, yeah. Let's explore why you said, oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh, and I'm like, no, it's not a bad thing. But I'm just curious, why was the first thing
why
that
did
popped
it come
up?
Out? Right.
Oh, and then we discuss it and then they realize. And just to, to make an emphasis to everyone out there that there's really no right or wrong question, answer in therapy. Yeah. There's really not, oh my God, I'm sorry, but I feel like stupid or don't laugh what I'm about to say. I tell my patients, you get that a lot outside. Yeah. This is your time. Different. For your 45 minutes, your 55 minutes, just say and talk. And don't worry about what I have to think or how I'm feeling or how I'm thinking because you also do that a lot outside. Right. Yeah. It's you want to curse in therapy, you feel like cursing, okay, then curse, but don't yell and scream because there's also other people. That's fine. Right. But you're like, oh my God, I'm fucking hated. I fucking hate this. I'm like, yeah, I could see you fucking hate a lot of things. And they're like, oh my God, I say that. I'm like, yeah, I think you do. Why do you always say that? Why is this a pattern for you? And then they realize. And most of my patients, they come and everything. And I feel it's because they don't feel they come to therapy. They don't feel that this is therapy. There's most like, this is something that I need to do. And I enjoy it and I like it. Right? So your life could be a total chaos. But you know that Tuesdays at 3 o'clock, you have therapy. You know that Saturdays at 11 o'clock, I have therapy. Simple as that. Everything else is messed up, is horrible. My therapist is at 11 a.m. Right? Kids or teenagers hate coming to therapy at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Then I become their best friend. When I text a 14-year-old kid and I said, dude, I'm sorry, I cannot come in. I don't feel well. I'll see you next week. For me, it's such a great feeling when the kid says, oh, Mr. Osorio, I'm not going to see you today. Oh, man, I wanted to talk to you about this. Right. Like, oh, wow, that's so cool. Yeah. And I'm like, well, we could text. You want me to call you? I'm like, all right, cool. And they just go, boom, 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 boom. I was like, wow. And then when I come next week, and I'm like, listen, I want to ask you something. He goes, yeah. Last time I wasn't here, I goes, yeah, I know. How do you feel? Oh, man, I missed it because, I wanted to talk to him. I'm like, but I thought you don't like coming here. Right. Like, I thought you hated it coming here.
Yeah, that's how it usually is.
Yeah, right? I know. But, it's really cool because, I get to talk blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. And then I told him, all right, so now I know you like coming here. He goes, yeah, but don't tell nobody. Like, don't tell my parents. I'm like, yeah. And then I said to them, why don't you want me to tell your parents that you enjoy coming to therapy? Because they'll take it away. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, if I behave bad, they take things that I don't like.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, right? Yeah.
It's like, okay. So then I'd say, so hypothetically speaking, what would happen if you get into a fight or if you get this? Well, most likely my mom is gonna call you and say that I'm not coming to therapy. Okay. Because mom and dad has said, we know you enjoy going to to your therapy. So you better have your grades. You better do this. And if you don't, then we're not taking you to therapy.
Kind of, yeah, defeating the whole purpose. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? And especially the teenagers, I'm like, I notice you come here every week, but I thought you don't like coming here. Yeah, that's what I tell my parents, that I hate coming here, so they bring me. I was like, but you really don't like, no. And if I tell them I do, I know they're going to stop bringing me because they think that now I'm enjoying coming here. So like, so you're smart and you're tricking me. Yeah, I'm tricking them. Like, okay. But they actually are. You know, and because when I talk to the parents, I tell them, what happens if he does this, if he does that? Well, then therapy's not working, then we got to stop coming. It's like, wow. It's like, you don't do that.
Yeah.
The kid is in music, the kid is in karate, the kid comes to therapy, he does something bad or acts out in school, he continues to do those things. But I need to punish him. Like, yeah, punish him, take the iPad, take the phone away, take this away, but don't take his music, don't take his karate classes, don't take therapy as a punishment.
Right.
Well, he loves coming here, so we gotta take everything that he likes. Like, it's like, oh
man.
It's like, no.
That's painful to hear.
It's yeah. And then they say, why, you think that's wrong? No, I cannot tell them that.
Right.
Well, what do you think? Like, let's say you were a 14-year-old kid coming to therapy, speaking everything. You get into a fight. Your mom tells you you're not going to therapy. Like, how will you feel? Oh, well, hate her, and I think it's messed up. I'm like, also, you think I'm doing wrong? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think?
It's up to you, really.
Right. Yeah, I think I gotta change that. Okay, what ways could we change it? And then they allow me to tell them A, B, C, and D. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh my God, maybe I should be in therapy too. I'm like, maybe you should with another therapist. Could I see you? I'm like, no, you can't see me because I'm already seeing your son. Right. But you're cool. I'm like, that's nice, thank you, but we can't do this. Like, I could refer you to someone else, and that's okay, And they're like, oh, okay. And then it's great for me to know that when the kid is in therapy, mom is also in therapy here.
Right.
At the same time,
was like a good idea.
Because in that way, mom is also trying to work, or dad. And again, who brings the kids to therapy? Mothers. Who waits the kid in therapy? Moms. Who brings the kid into the intake the first time? The mom. When I told the mom, what about dad and the husband? Oh, he's working. She goes, why is he not here? Well, he had, I've heard it. Why is the father not here in the kid's first therapy session? Well, he had other important things to do.
So I guess it's not important, right?
And then I look at the son or the daughter, and the kids are like, and then I tell them, also, you think that coming to therapy is not an important thing? No, it is. Oh my God, it's so important. That's not what I meant. I'm like, but you said your dad, the father, has something more important to do in front of your kid.
All right.
And then I said to the kid, how does that make you feel to know that your father has other more important things to do than to come here for the first therapy session with you? He goes, that's fucked up. Like, okay. And then the mom's like, oh my God, how could you say that? Your dad is working. I'm like, Mom, we could always come when he's off. And then I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
Rarely I will see mom and dad bring the kid. Rarely I will see the dad bring the kid. But it's always the mom, and that's the stereotype. That's the thing. Everything related to that thing, you go and you take care of it, right? Because I gotta work, I gotta do this. But when I have a father in session, I also acknowledge it. I'm like, Dad, I see that you're in therapy, like, with your kid. Why did you decide to come? He goes, this is my son. This is very important. And and like, instead of doing this, what were you doing? Well, I took off from work because my therapy, my son is in therapy, and I want to know what's up, and to let him know that this is also important. I was like, okay. It's like, that I could work with.
All right.
You know what I mean? That is okay. And then the dad says, is it okay if I come, if you see me individually? So I'm like, absolutely, sure. You know what I mean? But it doesn't happen. Or I tell the parents, he's a minor, I gotta meet with you, and when I call the parents to make the appointment, no, I can't come, I'm busy. What's up? Is he doing okay? It's like, no, it's not about that. We have to, is he okay? Like, what did he say? Is he saying something bad? He goes, No, he's not. Okay, so then I don't need to come, right? I'm like, I guess not. She's like, okay. Yeah, just text me if anything happens. It's like, okay.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you can't make anybody do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would assume that, okay, this is my kid.
They would want to, yeah.
They wouldn't want to, right? It's like when it's parent teachers, right? They go to some classes, they speak to some specific teachers, but they don't speak to all of them, right? They won't speak to the gym teacher, to the music teachers.
Yeah, usually the one where they're doing the worst. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
They will talk or they invest time usually to that particular class where the kid is doing the worst. Mm-hmm. But where the kid got the 4 or the 100, why would I talk to the teacher?
Right.
So when the kid, here you have a kid, let's say, got an 88, got a 92, got a 96, but then got a 65, got a 55, and got a 70. Mom comes from the parent to teacher. What is the first thing you think mom would tell this kid?
I mean, you would hope it's the positive. Yeah.
Assuming, right? What do you assume the mom would tell the kid?
I'm assuming it's like, you're doing this and that wrong, or, yeah.
And then the kid is like, Mom, but I got a 92, I got a 95, I got a 88. I don't care about that. Look, you got 55, you got 60, and the teacher said you're not going to blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but Mom, my other teacher says that I'm doing all my homework. I don't care about that. You're doing good. I really don't care about you doing good. Yeah, that's great. You're not failing, but you're failing this ones. So then when I talk to the kid, I'm like, how do you think Mom's like, yo, that's fucked up. So what do you think are you going to do now? Fuck it. Yeah. She's upset, so now I'm going to make her upset because then the kid does the payback, right? And I tell all the parents, you know when your kid is upset at you? When they're doing bad in school. Oh, why is that, Mr. Osorio? Because every kid knows that that's what you really care about. The kid has to do good in school.
Yeah.
And the kid goes, I'm going to hurt you where it hurts you the most. I'm going to really fuck up in school. And then the mom's like, why are you fucking up in school? Why? We're giving you everything, blah, 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 blah. And the kid's like, And not because I tell the kids. Mm-hmm. Why do you fail this? Well, because that's going to get her mad. You want your mom upset. No, I don't want her upset. But you're doing things to get her upset. I just want to get back at her. It's like, okay, that's different. And then that's what they learned. So you're saying that in order to get back at someone, to make them feel angry, you have to do something bad. And they're like, yeah, I guess so. It's like, okay. And now, like, why? Why can't you tell your mom you're upset? Like, no, she's going to freak out. And she's going to, this and this and that. So I'm going to behave bad. So I tell the parents, and this is like for all the parents that are listening, if the kid is doing bad in school, then you have to say what's going on with my kid, that he's doing bad in school. Because I know he's better. So my experience, the kid is upset, the kid is angry, there's something, the underlying issue going on with the kid. And most of the times when they come in, mom did this, my dad doesn't do this, blah, 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 blah. So I'm acting out. And that's usually what happens.
Yeah, wow. I definitely noticed, like, just like everybody else, so it's okay. We definitely went over the time.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna run. We're gonna run out of. That's the only reason why I'm cutting it short. Because I mean, we're in the middle of something good, and I still have more questions for you. But we're gonna have to do this another time because we're definitely.
Yeah, man, and like I tell the viewers, if they also have any questions, comments, write it. Let them know, and we could do this a specific topic.
Right.
More something more specific, or if there's any comments or questions that they have, they. Feel free, and then we could do this and just answer it. But
I mean, next time, for the first time, I'm probably gonna write down some questions because I still have a lot to ask, to be honest.
Yeah, but and there's way more a lot to say.
Yeah, we could definitely go on forever.
Yeah, so it is okay to go to therapy.
Yeah,
it is okay to say I might need someone to help me out here and figure out things. Mm-hmm. It's okay. It's free. The insurance covers it. Right, and if you don't have insurance, that yes, we charge cash and everything, but I'm also flexible on that because I also understand that, and just because you don't have insurance, I'm like, no, you have insurance, I'm sorry, bye. So it's like, okay, could you pay this, could you pay that, and I could only see you once or twice. it's fine, especially nowadays and everybody going, so anxious and panicking
about
things.
It'll be okay. But yeah, it's like you said, and I try to reiterate this too. It's like, don't think that only crazy people have to come. And
I think it's crazy not to come.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it also starts with us. It starts with everybody normalizing it. You know what I mean? And say, yeah, I go to therapy. I've been going to therapy for 2 years and it's helping. It's great. You know what? I have to see my therapist. I have to see my psychiatrist. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People take medications for diabetes. Okay.
Right.
People take medication for high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Exactly. So why not seeing a psychiatrist? Why is that a bad thing also?
Right.
I don't understand it. I'm just like, oh, you take I take medications every day for what? For cholesterol. It's like, okay, what about taking medication for your depression? No. I don't like to be on medication.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I get it. You don't like to be on, but let me ask you, when you started taking your medication for your cholesterol, your blood pressure, what happened? Well, it's work. I'm stable. I'm doing this. Like, okay. So medication does help you in this. Yeah. Don't you think it would also work on your depression? Like, no. I'm gonna get addicted to it. It's like, okay.
Okay. Right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Then I know the resistance is like, okay, I'll let it go. But I'll bring it back.
Right.
Until patient says, you think I should try it? You think it will benefit me? You think I should go to the psychiatrist? And go, you could go and see how it goes. You could try it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But at least it's there. You know?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, all you really need here is time and effort. I mean, you're not giving up much.
Yeah. Now with all of this, telehealth, online,
right? Yeah,
FaceTime,
exactly.
Patients, most of my patients cancel because they're afraid to come out. And I said to them, okay, we could always FaceTime. Oh yeah, that's great, and we're doing FaceTime. WhatsApp, we're calling. There's always to let them know that it's okay. Like, you're anxious, you're nervous, you're afraid of all of this. Let's talk about it instead of bubbling. You don't want to come? Here's this other offer. Insurance covers it, or because do I have to pay for this? Like, no, it's okay. The insurance covers it. Like, especially now, now,
for sure.
Especially now, it's believe it or not, like, I'm getting more calls. They want therapy for anxiety, for fear. Do you do phone sessions? Do you this? I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Are you panicking? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just taking my precautions. I'm doing what I need to do. It's okay.
Right.
We have the flu for some, like, it's fine.
yeah. It'll be fine. Yeah, imagine if the person you reach out for your panic attacks was panicking themselves. Like,
right? Imagine if a new patient or even a regular patient says, Giancarlo, I'm so anxious. Oh my God, how are you doing? Oh my God, I'm so freaking out. I don't know what to do. I don't know why you called me. Leave me alone.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. You can't be a roofer if you're afraid of heights. But yeah, thank you though. Like I said, we have to do this again because we definitely were just in the middle of the conversation. We have to cut it short.
No problem, guys. So,
but yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I don't know, we do this. What do we do?
Yeah, I guess so for now.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks everybody. So leave us any comments if you want something to be discussed next time. And we'll definitely be back at this, and go check the rest of the videos out. But for now, thank you and take care.
Bye guys, take care.
Okay, another podcast episode in the books. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I really hope you're still listening after 2 hours, just about, almost whatever, what's 112 minutes, almost 2 hours. Yeah, shit. But I hope you got something out of that. That's basically a free session. So, enjoy that. Once again, go to the website, mindstogetherpc.com, and don't forget that we have other episodes right now available in the podcast apps. So all the audio is up, and we'll soon see the video. I know you guys like videos, but I mean, damn well you don't watch half the shit. so, so just go ahead and listen to it on your podcast apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Um, I should probably learn the other ones. I know there's like, I know there's like 10 of them, but they're all out there. What else? Do I have anything else to say? Like, you probably don't give a fuck by now. Like, you're definitely not listening anymore after 2 hours almost of listening to us talk. Um, but yeah, let me not forget the other shout out. It's Crafts by Lissa. Guys, don't forget. That just go check out the Instagram page, crafts_by Lissa, Lyssa, to see more detail about what I'm talking about, because I could tell you what's on there. But it just grows each and every day, so can't really tell you everything. Just gotta go see for yourself. And it's, yeah, like I said, it's all quality stuff. I was gonna say shit, but it's not shit at all. It's very good stuff. Very nice things that you can get from there. Anything else? Yeah, please send in some questions, some comments, some suggestions on what to talk about. Unless you don't care about me talking sports, we might just have to change this to a sports/music podcast, because I feel like that's all I talk about. Yeah, I hear myself doing it, but I'm breathing like it sounds like I'm breathing very heavily, but that's because I haven't taken my allergy. Fuck, I did it again. My allergy pill today. That's why my nostrils are so like stuffy, and it sounds like I'm having a hard time. I mean, god damn, you hear that? I feel like I'm dying. Like, I'm such a like clogged up arteries, and like, oh man, it's I'm not gonna lie, like I miss having both my nostrils work at the same time. God damn, alright, I'm gonna have to end this and go fucking and get an asthma pump, or those nasal spray shits, because this is annoying. I don't want to do this all night. There it goes again. All right, for real. Thank you. I'll do I'll put out another episode of me by my lonesome self, and my cat. Yeah, that sounds really fucking sad, but don't worry, it's not. He keeps me very busy. It's like a whole fucking kid, dude. I never thought cats were like this ever in my life, and I've had plenty of pets. I've had at least 10 pets throughout my lifetime. They were all cool as shit, and even if they were some work, it's still like, I don't know why. As a fucking little ass kid, I have more patience with like huge dogs. I mean, obviously, I didn't like fully take care of them like my parents would, but you would think a little fucking cat is less work than a full grown, like medium to big sized dog. And yeah, that's how I feel right. I feel like this cat is more work than a whole dog. And that's the reason why I avoided a dog. Because I'm like, I can't have a big, full grown dog in New York City. Like, he's never going to fucking, like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'll just say this for another day. It's about to be officially 2 hours. So let me not put you through that burden, right? This outro is supposed to be short. It's already longer than the intro, and it's going to get longer than the actual episode. So goodbye. See you tomorrow or whenever. And take care.